They are everywhere, on the subway with vacant stares, in co-working spaces with dark circles under their eyes, scrolling through news feeds without knowing why. Lost people. Not in the sense of failures or misfits. Many of them are educated, employed, outwardly successful. But inside, there's an absence, not knowing who they are, or more precisely, not knowing why they are. This isn't a trend or a mood. It's an epidemic of our time. In the past, people had a defined place. Son, father, teacher, citizen, engineer. Life provided a path, not endless forks in the road. Today, the map has disappeared. We're told, you can be anything. But that's not freedom, that's panic. Because if you can be anything, it means you alone must invent your meaning, your coordinates, your structure of life. And how can you build that if school taught you algebra, but never how to understand yourself? We are a generation that inherited the aftermath of lost collective meaning. There is no shared faith, no common future, no collective history. Everyone is their own project now. And that brings anxiety. Because if you don't manage to become someone extraordinary, you feel like nothing. We no longer value simply being. We obsess over seeming. Why now? Why is this so widespread? There are several structural causes. First, digitization. We spend most of our waking hours in screens. Every day we compare ourselves to thousands of lives, people who seem richer, more attractive, more successful. Even if you know it's all curated, your brain still absorbs the message, you're not enough. Constant comparison erodes identity. You stop feeling like yourself. You exist only in contrast to others. Second, the breakdown of social structures. Families split more often. People live alone more frequently. Friends stay in group chats. Relatives live in different cities. And those physically near you are staring at phones. Loneliness has become the norm, not the exception. But humans are social beings. Without tactile presence, without mutual care, the personality fades. Third, the productivity culture. From childhood we're trained. You are a function. Your worth is measured by achievement. You must grow, earn, win. If you're not advancing, you're falling behind. There's no room to pause. No language for doubt. Burnout is treated like a trendy diagnosis, but it's really a symptom of soul loss. Fourth, the crisis of the future. We live in a world where the future no longer feels stable. Climate, politics, economics, everything is in flux. Past generations believed in linear progress, that their children would live better. We feel like we're running on a treadmill. This kills motivation. If tomorrow is filled with dread, why try today? So what do? How can a lost person navigate an era without maps and with 1,000 voices screaming, do something? First, stop seeing lostness as a flaw. It's not a malfunction. It's a sane response to an insane pace and pressure. Acknowledging your disorientation is already a return to self. The lost person is someone who stopped lying to themselves, who can no longer blindly run just because that's what you're supposed to do. Second, seek horizontal connections. Don't isolate, but form micro-communities. Not necessarily large ones. Even one friend with whom you can speak honestly is healing. Therapists, support groups, creative circles, volunteering, any form of mutual involvement restores a sense of being needed. You exist because someone responds to you. Third, limit information intake. This isn't about becoming a hermit. It's about protecting your attention. Focus is one of our last remaining resources. If your entire day is consumed by other people's news, bodies, and victories, you have no space left for your inner life. Fourth, find activities that make you feel alive. Not necessarily grand or impressive. It could be music, manual work, caring for someone, cooking. Anything where you aren't performing, but simply existing. This reconnects you to your sense of I, not through words, but through experience. Fifth, allow yourself not to know. Not to know who you'll become. Not to know what tomorrow brings. Not to know what the next step is. Modern humans fear uncertainty. But it is precisely from that space that real meaning can grow. Uncertainty is not emptiness. We assume the lost are weak. But in truth, they are honest. In a world where everyone is running, they were the first to stop, to ask where they're actually going. They may not know the path yet, but they've stopped heading toward what hurts. The age of the lost is not a crisis. It's a transition. Old models no longer serve. New ones haven't yet emerged. We're in between. And the task of this time isn't to fake certainty, but to listen deeply. Not to imitate success, but to seek depth. Not to pressure ourselves, but to protect what's human in us. Because in the end, the lost are those who are searching. And those who search, sooner or later, they find.